Amara thinks she saved a man. What she actually did was bring a monster home. And the truth begins with 3 realizations. 1. Amara realizes Ji-hoon lied about 3 things: his name, his job, and the fact that he's been dying for the past 6 hours. 2. The home he's taking her to isn't a house. It's a compound in the middle of Koreatown guarded by men with automatic weapons who call him Hyungnim and drop to their knees when they see him. 3. The woman who meets them at the gate, beautiful, lethal, wearing a white suit stained with blood, looks at Ji-hoon like she's seeing a ghost and says 5 words that change everything. So the king finally returns. Amara watches Ji-hoon's face transform. The wounded man who collapsed in her car is gone. In his place stands someone else entirely. Someone cold, commanding, dangerous. Someone who responds in Korean without hesitation. "I'm not here to stay, just to survive." The woman laughs. "Same thing, Hwang Ji-hoon. You know, that." Hwang Ji-hoon. Not just a thief, not just an accountant. The name that makes every man in the compound go rigid with respect. And Amara realizes too late. She didn't pick up a passenger running from the Mafia. She picked up the Mafia itself. Welcome back to Melanin meets Seoul, my loves. Amara just discovered the man bleeding in her back seat runs half of Atlanta's underworld. And the real nightmare? The people hunting him aren't enemies. They're his own people trying to bring him. The closet was cramped and dark and smelled like expensive leather. Ji-hoon's hand was still wrapped around Amara's wrist, his grip firm but not painful. In the darkness, she could hear his breathing, controlled, steady, the breathing of someone who'd done this before. "What's happening?" she whispered again. "They found us faster than I expected." His voice was different now, harder. The vulnerability from earlier, when she'd redressed his wounds, when they'd stood too close and looked at each other too long, was gone. "We need to move. Now." He pulled her out of the closet through the dark penthouse. Amara stumbled, her eyes not adjusted, but he moved with absolute certainty, like he could see in the dark, like he'd mapped every exit before he'd ever needed one. "The fire stairs. Compromised. They'll have men there." He pulled her toward the kitchen. "There's another way." "Another way? This is the 52nd floor." "I know." He stopped at what looked like a blank wall beside the refrigerator, pressed his hand flat against it. A panel slid open, revealing a narrow passage. "Service elevator, maintenance only, goes straight to the sub-basement." "How do you—" "I own the building." He said it matter-of-factly. "Bought it under a shell company 3 years ago. Always have an exit strategy." Of course he owned the building. Of course. They stepped into the service elevator, barely big enough for 2 people, industrial metal walls, a single flickering fluorescent light. Ji-hoon punched a code into the panel and the elevator descended. Fast. Amara's stomach dropped. Who were those people in the penthouse? Chongmin's cleanup crew, professional, expensive. His jaw tightened, which means they're escalating. Because of me. Because of both of us. He looked at her, and in the flickering light, she saw something in his eyes. Guilt. "I shouldn't have brought you to the penthouse. I thought we'd have more time. I was wrong." "Where are we going now?" Ji-hoon was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Like I said, home." "Home?" Amara said, focusing on the word more clearly now. "I thought the penthouse—" "That was a safe house. Home is—" He trailed off. "Somewhere I swore I'd never go back to." The elevator stopped with a jolt. Sub-basement. Ji-hoon pulled her through a maze of utility tunnels, pipes overhead, concrete walls, the hum of building machinery. They emerged in an underground parking garage, different from the pristine one. Upstairs. This one was older, grittier. A different car waited, not the Mercedes. A black Audi sedan. Older model, but well-maintained. "Get in," Ji-hoon said. Amara did. He slid into the driver's seat, moving stiffly, his wounds pulling. Started the engine. "You shouldn't be driving." "I've driven through worse." He pulled out of the garage onto a dark Atlanta street. "Besides, we don't have a choice." They drove in silence for 10 minutes. Amara watched the city change through the window. Downtown gave way to midtown, then to neighborhoods she didn't recognize. The signs started appearing in Korean. Restaurants, markets, karaoke bars, Koreatown. Ji-hoon, that's not my name. His voice was flat. Or it is, but it's not all of it. Amara's stomach twisted. What? My full name is Hwang Ji-hoon. He took a turn down a side street. Hwang is my family name. And my family… He laughed bitterly. My family is complicated. Complicated how? The kind of complicated that gets people killed. He turned down another street, and Amara saw it. At first, she thought it was an industrial building, high walls, metal gates, security cameras. But as they got closer, she saw the men, at least a dozen, standing at intervals along the wall, not security guards, something else. They wore dark clothes and they weren't trying to hide the fact that they were armed. What is this place? Amara's voice came out small. Ji-hoon didn't answer. He pulled up to the gate. The man standing guard approached the driver's window. Ji-hoon rolled it down. The guard looked at him. His eyes went wide. Hyungnim? The word meant nothing to Amara, but the way the man said it, reverence mixed with shock, mixed with fear, made her skin crawl. Open the gate, Taemin, Ji-hoon said quietly. But, Hyungnim, you left. We thought you weren't coming back. I wasn't. Things changed. Ji-hoon's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror. Open the gate, now! Taemin pulled out a radio, spoke, rapidly in Korean. Amara caught enough to understand. He's here. He's back. Alert everyone. The gate opened. Ji-hoon drove through into a courtyard, and Amara's breath caught. It wasn't a building, it was a compound. Multiple structures arranged around a central courtyard. Traditional Korean architecture mixed with modern security features. Cameras everywhere, more armed men, and all of them were staring at the car. At Ji-hoon, like they were seeing a ghost. Ji-hoon parked, sat there for a moment with his hands on the wheel. I need you to listen to me very carefully, he said quietly. When we get out of this car, everything changes. The man you've been with for the past day, the one who collapsed in your Uber, who let you stitch his wounds, who drank whiskey with you at 4 a.m., that man doesn't exist here. What are you talking about? Here, I'm someone else. Someone I tried very hard to stop being. He finally looked at her. And I need you to trust me, even when you don't. Understand. Even when you're scared. Can you do that? Amara wanted to say no, wanted to demand answers, wanted to get out of the car and run. But she looked at his eyes, dark and desperate and carrying weight she couldn't begin to understand, and heard herself say, yes. Good. He opened his door. Stay close to me. Don't speak unless I tell you to, and no matter what happens, don't show fear. You're scaring me. I know. I'm sorry. He got out of the car. Amara followed. The courtyard was silent except for the sound of their footsteps on stone. Every man in sight was watching them, watching him, and then, one by one, they dropped to their knees. All of them, a dozen armed men, kneeling. Amara froze. What? Ji-hoon's hand found hers. Squeezed once. A warning. The door to the main building opened. A woman stepped out. She was Korean. Beautiful in a dangerous way. Sharp cheekbones, dark eyes, black hair cut in a severe bob. She wore a white suit that was immaculate except for the blood splattered across the jacket. Fresh blood, still wet. She looked at Ji-hoon and smiled. Slow, predatory. So the king finally returns, she said in perfect English. Ji-hoon's face transformed. The warmth Amara had seen glimpses of, gone. In its place, ice, authority, power. I'm not here to stay, Hye-jin, he said. His voice was different, colder. Just to survive. The woman, Hye-jin, laughed. Same thing, Hwang Ji-hoon. You know that. Hwang Ji-hoon. The name sent a shock through every man still kneeling. Amara felt it, the shift in the air, the weight of that name. Who is she? Hye-jin's eyes landed on Amara, assessing, dismissive. Your latest distraction? She saved my life. Ji-hoon's hand tightened on Amara's. She's under my protection. How noble. Hye-jin walked closer. Does she know what you are, what you've done? Or did you lie to her like you lie to everyone? Amara found her voice. What is he? Hye-jin's smile widened. Oh, he didn't tell you? How delicious! She looked at Ji-hoon. Should I, or will you? Hye-jin. Hwang Ji-hoon, Hye-jin said, her voice carrying across the courtyard, is the heir to the Hwang crime family. The prodigal son who walked away from his empire 6 months ago because he couldn't stomach the violence. The king who abandoned his throne. The words hit Amara like a physical blow. Crime family, empire, king. She looked at Ji-hoon, at the man she'd stitched up, the man she'd started to trust, maybe even started to— You lied to me, she whispered. I simplified, Ji-hoon said. There's a difference. You told me you were an accountant. I was. I am. I handle money for people who need it moved quietly. His voice was steady, unapologetic. I didn't lie about that. But you didn't tell me you were— She gestured at the compound, the kneeling men, the blood on Hye-jin's suit. This. Would you have helped me if I had? Amara opened her mouth, closed it. Because he was right. If a mafia boss had collapsed in her car covered in blood, she would have called 911 and driven away. She wouldn't have saved him. That's what I thought, Ji-hoon said quietly. Touching, Hye-jin interrupted. But we have bigger problems. Cheongmin knows you're alive. They know you're here. And they're not going to stop until you're dead. She crossed her arms. So what's your plan, Hyungnim? Hide behind your walls and hope they give up? My plan is to negotiate. With what? You gave up your leverage when you walked away. I still have the information they want. Do you? Hye-jin's eyes glittered. Because my sources say you already gave it away, to someone in a penthouse, right before Cheongmin burned the place down. Ji-hoon's face didn't change, but Amara felt his hand twitch in hers. Minseo, he said, dead, along with everyone in the Red Dragon. Hye-jin's voice was matter-of-fact. Cheongmin hit it 3 hours ago. No survivors, no evidence, no drive. Fuck! The word came out. Quiet. Devastated. So, I'll ask again, Hye-jin said. What's your plan? Before Ji-hoon could answer, another voice cut through the courtyard. The plan is the same as it's always been. A man stepped out of the building behind Hye-jin. Korean, mid-40s. He looked nothing like Ji-hoon but carried himself the same way. Command in every step. Appa, Ji-hoon said. The word was stiff, formal. Brother. The man's eyes were cold. You have nerve showing your face here. I didn't have a choice. You always have a choice. You just choose poorly. The man walked closer. You abandoned this family, abandoned your responsibility, and now you come crawling back because you need help. I'm not crawling. You're bleeding. You're hunted. You have nowhere else to go. The man's smile was sharp. That's the definition of crawling. Hyun-woo? That's Jangnim to you. Hyun-woo's voice cracked like a whip. You gave up the right to use my name when you walked away. The men around the courtyard shifted uncomfortably. This was a family fight, dangerous territory. I left because I didn't want to become you, Ji-hoon said quietly. And yet here you are, covered in blood, dragging an innocent woman into our world, begging for protection. Hyun-woo's eyes found Amara. You've become exactly what you hate. The words hit their mark. Amara saw Ji-hoon flinch. I'll leave in the morning, Ji-hoon said. I just need one night. Medical care. Then I'm gone. No. Hyun-woo, you don't get to walk away twice. Hyun-woo stepped closer. You want our protection? You want our resources? Fine. But there's a price. What price? You take your place. Formally. Publicly. Hyun-woo's voice was iron. You marry Mi-rae, you bind the families together, and you stay. The name landed like a bomb. Ji-hoon's face went white. No. Then the gate closes behind you in 10 minutes. You can't. I'm Jangnim now. I can do whatever I want. Hyunwoo crossed his arms. Marry. Mi-rae. Or leave. Those are your options. There has to be another way. There isn't. Not anymore. You made your choice 6 months ago. Now I'm making mine. Amara's head was spinning. Whose song, Mi-rae? Hye-jin answered before Ji-hoon could. His fiancé. The arrangement was made when they were children. Political marriage. Binding 2 crime families together. I'm not marrying her, Ji-hoon said through gritted teeth. Then you're not staying, Hyunwoo said. He turned to leave. 10 minutes, little brother. Decide fast. He walked back into the building. Ji-hoon stood there, chest heaving, face pale. His wounds were bleeding again. Amara could see fresh blood seeping through his shirt. You're engaged, Amara said. Her voice sounded distant, like it was coming from someone else. It's not like that? You have a fiancé? An arrangement, made by our fathers when we were kids. It's not real. But if you want to stay here, you have to marry her. I don't want to stay here. But you have to. Amara pulled her hand from his. You said it yourself. You're dying. You need medical care. You need protection. And She looked around at the armed men, the blood, the walls. I need to leave. Amara. You lied to me about everything. Your name, your job, your family. What else haven't you told me? I was trying to protect you. From what? The truth? She laughed. It came out broken. I saved your life. I stitched your wounds. I trusted you, and you were lying the entire time. Not about everything. He reached for her. Not about... Don't. She stepped back. Just don't. A new voice cut through the tension. Female. Sharp. Dripping with contempt. Well, this is pathetic. A woman emerged from the building. Korean. Late 20s. Stunning. Magazine cover beautiful with perfect makeup, designer clothes, and an expression like she smelled something rotten. Mi-rae, Ji-hoon said. He sounded exhausted. So this was the fiancé. Song Mi-rae walked across the courtyard like she owned it. Maybe she did. Her eyes swept over Amara with barely concealed disgust. This is what you've been hiding with? Mi-rae's voice was poison wrapped in silk. Amara's face burned. Leave her alone, Ji-hoon said. Or what? You'll defend her honor? Mi-rae laughed. You can barely stand. You're bleeding through your shirt. You look like death, and you think you can protect her? Mi-rae, I heard what Hyunwoo said. Marry me or leave. Mi-rae stopped directly in front of Amara. He'll choose me. He always does, because that's what he is, a coward who runs from responsibility until he has no choice. Back off, Amara said quietly. Excuse me? Mi-rae's eyes flashed. I said back off. Amara met her gaze. I don't know who you think you are. I'm his fiancée. I'm the woman he's going to marry. I'm the one who actually belongs in this world. Mi-rae stepped closer. And you're just a mistake he'll forget in a week. A distraction. A nobody. Something inside Amara snapped. She'd spent the last 24 hours terrified, running, stitching wounds, trusting a man who'd lied to her, being dragged into a world she didn't understand. And now this woman, this stranger, was looking at her like she was trash. You're right, Amara said. Her voice was steady, cold. I am a nobody. I drive Uber 16 hours a day. I wear a Save Mart uniform. I live in a shitty apartment with broken AC, and I'm 3 weeks behind on rent. Mi-rae's smile was triumphant. Exactly. But I saved his life. Amara cut her off. When he was bleeding out in my car, I didn't call the cops. I didn't leave him in a parking garage. I helped him. I stitched his wounds. I drove him to safety. She stepped closer. What have you done except stand here in your designer clothes and judge me? Mi-rae's face flushed with anger. How dare you? How dare you? Amara's voice rose. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. And you definitely don't get to tell me I don't belong. The entire courtyard had gone silent. Every man was watching. Even Hye-jin looked impressed. You have no idea who you're talking to, Mi-rae hissed. I don't care. Amara turned to Ji-hoon. I'm done with all of this. With you, with your lies and your crime family and your arranged marriage. She looked him dead in the eyes. Marry her. Don't marry her. I don't care. Just let me go. I can't. Ji-hoon's voice was rough. Chungmin knows who you are. They'll kill you the second you walk out that gate. Then I'll take my chances. Amara, no. She shook her head. You don't get to Amara me. You lied about everything, and I'm not staying in a place where I'm not wanted. You're wanted, Ji-hoon said quietly. By me. The words hung in the air. Mi-rae made a strangled sound. You can't be serious. I am. Ji-hoon's eyes never left Amara's. I'm sorry I lied. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the truth. But I've never lied about wanting you to be safe. Then let me leave. I can't, because safe means here, behind these walls, where I can protect you. By marrying someone else? If that's what it takes. Amara felt something crack in her chest. That's not protection. I don't even know what that is. It's survival. Ji-hoon swayed slightly. And it's all I have left to offer. He collapsed. Amara caught him on instinct, her arms wrapping around him as he fell, his weight pulling them both down to the stone courtyard. Blood soaked through his shirt, hot against her hands. Ji-hoon! She pressed her hand to the wound on his side. It had torn open completely. Someone help! Men rushed forward. Hye-jin barked orders in Korean. They lifted Ji-hoon carefully, carrying him toward the building. Amara followed, her hands covered in his blood for the second time in 24 hours, and she realized with cold clarity, she couldn't leave. Not yet. Not while he was dying. Not while she still needed answers. Mi-rae grabbed her arm as she passed. This changes nothing, she hissed. He'll marry me, and you'll leave. That's how this ends. Amara pulled free. We'll see. She followed the men carrying Ji-hoon into the compound, into a world she didn't understand, into a nightmare she couldn't wake up from, and the door closed behind her with a sound like a tomb sealing shut. The inside of the main building was nothing like Amara expected. She'd imagined something dark, gritty, the kind of place criminals operated from in movies. Concrete walls, fluorescent lights, the smell of violence. Instead, it was beautiful. Traditional Korean architecture blended seamlessly with modern luxury. Dark wood floors, paper screens backlit with warm light, minimalist furniture that probably cost more than her car, art on the walls, real art, the kind you saw in museums, and everywhere, armed men, watching, waiting. They carried Ji-hoon through a series of hallways to what looked like a medical facility. Actual hospital equipment, monitoring machines, IV stands, surgical lights. A Korean man in his 60s waited, already scrubbed and gloved. Dr. Song, Hye-jin said. He needs immediate attention. I can see that. Dr. Song's eyes swept over Ji-hoon's wounds, then landed on Amara's hands, still covered in blood. Who did the initial suturing? I did, Amara said. You're a doctor? I'm an Uber driver who watches YouTube. Dr. Song's eyebrows rose. The sutures are competent, better than competent. He gestured to a sink. Wash your hands, then assist me. I'm not. You kept him alive this long. Don't stop now. Dr. Song was already cutting away Ji-hoon's shirt. Scrub in, quickly. Amara moved on autopilot, washed her hands, put on gloves, stood beside the surgical table where Ji-hoon lay unconscious, even though she wondered why he didn't have assistance. The internal bleeding has worsened, Dr. Song said, his hands moving with practiced efficiency. He should have died hours ago. The fact that he didn't tells me two things. One, he's extraordinarily stubborn. Two, someone gave him excellent field care. He looked at Amara. I just did what the video showed, she said quietly. Then whoever made that video saved his life, and so did you. Dr. Song worked in silence for a moment. Hold this clamp. Steady pressure. Don't let go. Amara held the clamp, watched Dr. Song repair the damage her amateur sutures had only temporarily fixed, watched Ji-hoon's chest rise and fall with mechanical precision. How long have you known him? Dr. Song asked. 24 hours. And in those 24 hours, you've sutured his wounds twice, evaded a corporate death squad, and followed him into a crime compound. Dr. Song's voice was dry. You're either very brave or very stupid. I'm starting to think it's both. Good answer. He tied off a suture. The women in this family need both, courage and foolishness in equal measure. I'm not in this family. Yet you're here, in the inner sanctum, covered in the heir's blood. Dr. Song glanced at her. Like it or not, you're involved now. The door opened. Hyunwoo entered, followed by Hye-jin. Status? Hyunwoo asked. He'll live, if he rests, if he stops taking bullets. Dr. Song didn't look up from his work. And if he stops running from his responsibilities. That's not your concern. Everything about this family is my concern. I've been patching up Hwang men for 30 years. Dr. Song's voice hardened. And I'm tired of burying them because they're too proud to compromise. Compromise is weakness. Compromise is survival. Dr. Song finished the last suture. He needs 48 hours of bed rest minimum, and someone to monitor him. He tries to leave before then, he dies. Fine. Hyunwoo's eyes found Amara. You'll watch him. Excuse me? You got him into this condition. You'll make sure he recovers. That's not fair. I didn't. Nothing about this is fair. Hyunwoo's voice was ice. But those are the terms. You want to stay in this compound, you earn your keep. Watch him, report any changes, make sure he doesn't try to leave. Why would I agree to that? Because the alternative is, I throw you out that gate and let Cheongmin find you. Hyunwoo leaned closer. Your choice. Prison guard or corpse. Amara's hands clenched into fists. Some choice. Life's full of difficult choices. Get used to it. Hyunwoo turned to leave. Hye-jin, show her to the recovery room. Make sure she understands the rules. He left. Dr. Song began cleaning his instruments. For what it's worth, he said quietly. Hyunwoo's not wrong. Ji-hoon will try to leave the moment he wakes up. He always does. Someone needs to stop him. Why me? Because you're the only one he might actually listen to. Dr. Song looked at her. He came here for you, not for protection, not for medical care. For you, to keep you safe. How do you? That's not. The Hwang family has 3 safe houses within 50 miles. Any one of them would have been closer, safer, less complicated. Dr. Song stripped off his gloves, but he came here, to the one place he swore he'd never return, because it's the only place powerful enough to protect you from Cheongmin. The words settled into Amara's chest like stones. He should have asked me first, she said. Would you have said yes? No. Exactly. Dr. Song walked to the door. The recovery room is down the hall. Second door on the left. Someone will bring food. Try to sleep. Tomorrow is going to be worse than today. How is that possible? Dr. Song's smile was sad. You're about to find out. Hye-jin led Amara down another hallway, silent, evaluating. You held up better than I expected. Hye-jin said finally, What's that supposed to mean? Most civilians panic, cry, beg. Hye-jin glanced at her. You assisted in surgery without flinching. I flinched plenty, I just didn't let you see it. Even better. Hye-jin stopped at a door. This is the recovery room. Ji-hoon will be brought here once Dr. Song is satisfied with his vitals. There's a bathroom through that door, clothes in the closet. Food will be delivered. Am I a guest or a prisoner? Both. Hye-jin opened the door. The compound is on lockdown. No one leaves until the Cheongmin situation is resolved. You're stuck here whether you want to be or not. Lucky me. Luckier than you realize. Cheongmin hit 3 more locations tonight. Killed everyone connected to Ji-hoon. You're alive because you're here. Hye-jin's voice softened slightly. Try to remember that when you're hating us. She left. Amara stepped into the recovery room. It was large, more like a bedroom than a hospital room. A real bed, not a gurney. Traditional Korean furniture mixed with modern medical equipment. Windows overlooking an interior courtyard garden lit by paper lanterns. Beautiful. Like everything else in this place. Amara found the bathroom, washed Ji-hoon's blood off her hands for the third time, looked at herself in the mirror. She looked terrible, exhausted, still wearing his oversized t-shirt. Hair a mess, dark circles under her eyes. 24 hours ago, she'd been worried about making rent. Now she was trapped in a crime compound, watching over a Mafia heir while his fiancé plotted to get rid of her. "This is insane," she told her reflection. Her reflection didn't argue. Someone knocked. Amara opened the door. A young Korean woman stood there holding a tray of food. She couldn't have been more than 20. Pretty, nervous. "For you," she said in accented English. "Hyejin ordered it." "Thank you." Amara took the tray. Rice, soup, side dishes she didn't recognize. It smelled amazing. The woman hesitated. "Can I ask, are you really the one who saved Hyung-nim?" "I guess." "Thank you." The woman's eyes were sincere. "He's a good man, better than people know." "Everyone keeps saying that." "Because it's true." She lowered her voice. "Don't let Mi-rae intimidate you. She's all bark." "And no bite?" "Oh, she bites. But only when people let her." The woman smiled. "You didn't let her, in the courtyard. Everyone's talking about it." "Great. I'm gossip." "You're interesting. That's better." She bowed slightly. "My name is Ji-woo. If you need anything, ask for me." "Thank you, Ji-woo." The woman left. Amara ate mechanically. The food was delicious, but she barely tasted it. Her mind was spinning. "He came here for you, to keep you safe. You're the only one he might actually listen to. Don't let Mi-rae intimidate you." She was halfway through the soup when they brought Ji-hoon in. 4 men carried him on a gurney, transferred him carefully to the bed, attached monitoring equipment. One of them, Taemin, the guard from the gate, lingered. "He looks better," Taemin said. "Dr. Song is the best." "How long have you known him?" Amara asked. "Ji-hoon, I mean." 10 years. I was 17 when Hyung-nim recruited me, saved me from a bad situation. Taemin adjusted Ji-hoon's IV. "He's not like his father, or his brother. He actually cares about people." "Then why did he leave?" "Because he cared too much. This life," Taemin gestured around, "it requires you to hurt people, sometimes kill them. Hyung-nim couldn't do that anymore, so he left." He looked at Amara. But leaving meant giving up his protection, his resources, everything that kept him safe. "Why didn't he just, I don't know, go to the police?" Taemin laughed. "The police work for us, or for Cheong-min, or for one of the other families. There's no just going to the police in our world." "That's terrifying." "Yes." Taemin headed for the door. "There's a panic button by the bed. Press it if anything changes. Someone will come immediately." "What if I need to leave?" "The door's not locked, but I wouldn't recommend wandering. The compound is complicated, easy to get lost, easier to end up somewhere you shouldn't be." "Is that a threat?" "A warning. There's a difference." Taemin paused. "For what it's worth, I'm glad Hyung-nim has someone. He's been alone too long." He left before Amara could respond. She pulled a chair next to Ji-hoon's bed, watched the monitors, counted his heartbeats. He looked different in sleep, younger, less guarded. The hard edges that had appeared in the courtyard were gone, replaced by something vulnerable. "You're an asshole," she told his unconscious form. "You lied to me. You dragged me into this. You—" Her voice cracked. "You made me care about you," she whispered. "And I don't know how to stop." Ji-hoon's eyes fluttered open. "Amara?" His voice was rough, drugged. "I'm here." "You stayed." "I'm watching you, per your brother's orders. I'm basically your prison guard. Better you than anyone else." His hand moved across the blanket, seeking hers. She let him find it. I'm sorry for lying, for all of it. I know. Do you hate me? Amara wanted to say yes, wanted to pull her hand away, wanted to feel nothing. I don't know what I feel, she said honestly. That's fair. His eyes were closing again. Mi-rae, don't let her. She's not as powerful as she thinks. Ji-hoon, stay safe, please. That's all I care about. He drifted back under. Amara sat there holding his hand, watching him sleep, and wondering how her life had become this. The next morning, Amara woke to sunlight streaming through the windows and someone shaking her shoulder roughly. Wake up. She jerked awake. Mi-rae stood over her, perfectly made up despite the early hour. Her expression was venomous. Get out, Mi-rae said. Excuse me? This is my fiancé's room. You don't belong here. Mi-rae crossed her arms. Get out. Hyunwoo told me to watch him, and I'm telling you to leave. I outrank you. Mi-rae's smile was sharp. Or do I need to have you removed? Amara stood slowly. You're scared of me. What? You're scared that he actually cares about me, that I'm not just a distraction. Amara stepped closer. That's why you're here at 7 a.m. picking fights, because you're terrified. I'm not scared of a broke nobody. Then why are you trying so hard to get rid of me? Amara tilted her head. If I'm so beneath you, why do I matter? Mi-rae's face flushed with anger. You think you're clever? I think I'm right. Amara glanced at Ji-hoon, still sleeping. And I think he knows it too. He'll marry me. The family requires it. Does he love you? The question landed like a slap. Love is irrelevant, Mi-rae said coldly. This is business, family, legacy, things you couldn't possibly understand. You're right. I don't understand arranged marriages and crime families and legacy. Amara grabbed her jacket. But I understand people, and Ji-hoon doesn't love you. He might marry you, but he'll never love you. She walked past Mi-rae toward the door. Where are you going? Somewhere you're not. Amara pulled open the door. Feel free to watch him. That's what prison guards do, right? She left before Mi-rae could respond. The compound in daylight was even more impressive than at night. Amara wandered the hallways, ignoring the stares from armed men. Found herself in the courtyard garden. It was peaceful. Traditional stone paths, carefully manicured plants, a small pond with koi fish, paper lanterns that would light up at night. Beautiful, isn't it? Amara turned. An elderly Korean woman sat on a bench, feeding the fish. She wore traditional hanbok, elegant, expensive. Her hair was silver, her eyes sharp. It is, Amara said carefully. Plus. Amara hesitated, then sat. Are you part of the family? I'm the grandmother, the matriarch. The woman smiled. You can call me Halmione. Everyone does. I'm Amara. I know. The whole compound knows. Halmione scattered more fish food. You're the woman who stood up to Mi-rae. Very brave, very stupid. Both qualities I admire. I didn't mean to cause problems. Problems were already here. You just exposed them. Halmione looked at her. My grandson, Ji-hoon. He didn't tell you who he was. No. Are you angry? Yes, and confused, and scared. Amara's voice cracked. I don't belong here. Neither did I. 60 years ago. Halmione's smile was sad. I was a school teacher. I married into this family thinking it was just a successful business. By the time I learned the truth, I was pregnant with Dae-jung, Ji-hoon's father. Did you try to leave? Many times, but love is a cage we build ourselves. She looked at Amara. Do you love my grandson? I barely know him. That's not an answer. Amara was quiet. I don't know. Maybe. I think I could, if things were different. Things are never different in this life, only more complicated. Halmione stood. But I'll tell you something true. Ji-hoon has never brought a woman here, not once. Not even Mi-rae. This compound was his sanctuary, his escape from responsibility. Then why? Because he values your life more than his freedom. Halmione touched Amara's shoulder gently. That means something, even if you're too angry to see it yet. She walked away, leaving Amara alone with the koi fish and her thoughts. Amara spent the morning exploring, found a library, a training room where men practiced hand-to-hand combat, a kitchen where staff prepared elaborate meals. Everyone stared. No one stopped her. She ended up in what looked like an office. Traditional desk, modern computers, and on the walls, photos, family photos. She found Ji-hoon immediately, younger, maybe 18, standing beside an older man who had to be his father. Same sharp features, same intense eyes, but harder, colder. Another photo. Ji-hoon and Hyun-woo as teenagers, arms around each other, smiling, before whatever broke them. Another. Ji-hoon in a suit, looking miserable, standing beside Mi-rae at what looked like an engagement party. That was 3 years ago. Amara spun. Hye-jin stood in the doorway. The engagement party, Hye-jin continued. Their fathers arranged it. Neither of them wanted it. But family obligations don't care what you want. Why are you telling me this? Because you need to understand what you're up against. Hye-jin walked to the photos. Mi-rae isn't just his fiancée. She's the Song family heir. Their marriage would unite two of the most powerful crime families in Atlanta. It's political, strategic, and loveless. Completely. Hye-jin looked at Amara. But it's also essential. Without the Song alliance, the Hwang family is vulnerable. Chong-min knows this. That's why they're pushing so hard. If they can eliminate Ji-hoon before he marries Mi-rae, they destabilize everything. So his marriage isn't just about family pressure. It's about survival. Now you're understanding. Hye-jin crossed her arms. Hyun-woo will force the marriage. Soon, probably within days. And when that happens, you'll have to leave. I want to leave now. No, you don't, because leaving means dying. Hye-jin's voice was matter-of-fact. Chong-min has your name, your address, your social security number. They know where you work, where you shop, where your friends live. I don't have friends. Then where your family lives. I don't have family. Amara's voice was hollow. My mom died 10 years ago. No siblings, no cousins. Just me. Something flickered in Hye-jin's expression. Then you truly have nothing to lose. Or everything. Same thing in our world. The door opened. Tae-min stuck his head in. Hye-jin. Problem. What kind? The kind with Chong-min colors. Hye-jin's face went hard. Show me. Amara followed them to a security room. Multiple monitors showing different angles of the compound perimeter. On one screen, a car. Expensive, black. Parked just outside the gate. A Korean man in a suit stood beside it, waiting. Who is he? Amara asked. Cheong-min negotiator. Hye-jin leaned closer to the screen. They're making an offer. What kind of offer? The kind we can't refuse. Hyun-woo entered, took one look at the screens, and swore. Get Ji-hoon, now. He's not well enough. I don't care. This is his mess. He needs to clean it up. They brought Ji-hoon to the security room in a wheelchair. He looked better than yesterday, but still pale, still weak. Dr. Song followed, protesting. I said 48 hours. We don't have 48 hours. Hyun-woo pointed at the screen. Chong-min sent Park Jin-woo, their top negotiator. He doesn't come unless they're serious. Ji-hoon studied the screen. What do they want? You, probably, or your head, maybe both. Hyun-woo turned to him. This is your fault. Fix it. How? By being what you were born to be. A Hwang, a leader, a king. Hyun-woo's voice was ice. Or by dying. I'm fine with either. Ji-hoon's jaw tightened. Set up the meeting inside the compound, main hall, 1 hour. You're giving them access? They'll take it anyway. Better to control the terms. Ji-hoon looked at Amara. You need to stay hidden, out of sight. Why? Because if they see you, they'll know you matter, and anything that matters to me becomes a target. I can handle myself, not against Cheong-min. His voice was urgent. Please, trust me on this. Amara wanted to argue, but she saw real fear in his eyes. Fine, she said. I'll hide. Thank you. They wheeled him out to prepare. Hyejin touched Amara's arm. Come with me. There's a place you can watch from. Safe, hidden. She led Amara to a small room above the main hall. A traditional screen covered the window, paper and wood, intricate patterns. You could see through it from their side, but from below, it looked solid. Korean architecture, Hyejin explained. Built for spying. Stay quiet. Don't move. No one will know you're here. Why are you helping me? Because Ji-hoon was right about one thing. You matter. And I want to see what happens when someone who matters actually stays. Hyejin's smile was sharp. Besides, Mi-rae is insufferable. Watching you irritate her is the most fun I've had in months. She left. Amara positioned herself at the screen, looked down into the main hall. It was massive, traditional Korean throne room style. Raised platform at one end, guards lining the walls, and in the center, chairs arranged for negotiation. Hyunwoo entered first, then Ji-hoon, walking now, refusing the wheelchair, moving stiffly but upright. Hyejin, several other men Amara didn't recognize, and Mi-rae, dressed impeccably, standing beside Ji-hoon like she belonged there. The doors opened. Park Jin-woo entered. He was younger than Amara expected, mid-30s, handsome, expensive suit, and carrying a briefcase like this was just another business meeting. Hwang Hyun-woo. Jin-woo bowed slightly. Thank you for seeing me. You didn't give us a choice. Hyun-woo didn't sit. Say what you came to say. Very well. Jin-woo opened his briefcase, pulled out a folder. Chongmin Corporation is prepared to offer the Hwang family a substantial settlement, $20 million, in exchange for one thing. Let me guess. My brother. Alive or dead, we're not particular. Ji-hoon laughed. Generous. We can be more generous. 30 million, plus a guarantee. Chongmin will never target the Hwang family again. Complete amnesty. In exchange for what? Hyunwoo asked. Hwang Ji-hoon, and the woman he brought here. Amara's blood went cold. What woman? Hyunwoo's voice gave nothing away. Don't play games. We know she's here. Amarachi Daniels, age 28, Nigerian immigrant. Uber driver. Jinwoo smiled. We want them both. Why her? Because she's a witness, and Cheong-min doesn't leave witnesses. She didn't see anything. She saw enough. Jinwoo closed the briefcase. 30 million, amnesty. All your sins forgiven. You can continue running Atlanta without interference. And if we refuse? Then we burn this compound to the ground. Jinwoo's smile never wavered. We have 50 men positioned around the perimeter. Enough firepower to level this building. You're outgunned, outnumbered, and running out of options. The hall was silent. Then Ji-hoon spoke. Counteroffer. Everyone looked at him. I'll come with you, willingly, right now. Ji-hoon's voice was steady. But you leave her alone. Completely. You scrub her name from your systems. You forget she exists. Ji-hoon, Hyunwoo started. That's my offer. Me for her freedom. Jinwoo considered this. And if she talks? If she goes to the media, the police? She won't, because I'll make sure of it before I go. Ji-hoon looked at Hyunwoo. Brother, please, let me fix my mistake. This is suicide. This is justice. I dragged her into this. I'll get her out. Hyunwoo's face was stone. And what about the family? Your responsibility? Marry Mi-rae to someone else. Unite the families. You don't need me for that. But I want you for it. Hyunwoo's voice cracked slightly. You're my brother. You're an idiot and a coward, but you're my brother. Then let me be brave once. Let me save someone. Above them, hidden behind the screen, Amara's eyes burned with tears. He was trading his life for hers. Without asking, without telling her, just doing it. No. Mi-rae's voice cut through the tension. He's not going anywhere. Everyone turned to her. This is not your decision, Hyunwoo started. Actually, it is. Mi-rae walked to the center of the hall. Because I'm invoking the marriage clause. The room went silent. What? Ji-hoon's face went white. The marriage clause, ancient family law. Mi-rae's smile was triumphant. If a Hwang heir is engaged and facing death, the marriage can be accelerated, immediate ceremony, full binding rights, and once married, he cannot be traded or surrendered without his spouse's consent. That's, Ji-hoon looked at Hyun-woo. She can. Hyun-woo's voice was grim. The law is clear. Then I refuse the marriage. You can't refuse. The engagement contract includes a binding clause. You agreed to it 3 years ago. Mi-rae stepped closer. So, here's what's going to happen. We're getting married. Today. Right now. And then you're stuck here. With me. Forever. Mi-rae, don't do this. Too late. Mi-rae looked at Jin-woo. You can tell Chong-min they'll have to go through 2 families to get him now. The Hwangs and the Songs, united. Are you prepared for that war? Jin-woo's smile finally faded. The Songs wouldn't. My father already agreed. I called him on the way here. Mi-rae pulled out her phone, showed him a message. The Song family stands with the Hwangs. If Chong-min attacks, we respond with equal force. Jin-woo looked at the phone. His face hardened. This isn't over. Yes, it is. Mi-rae's voice was cold. Now get out of our compound before I have you removed. Jin-woo looked at Hyun-woo. You'll regret this. I regret many things. This won't be one of them. Hyun-woo gestured to the guards. Escort him out, nicely. They did. The second Jin-woo was gone, Ji-hoon rounded on Mi-rae. What the fuck did you just do? I saved your life. You're welcome. By trapping me, by protecting you. Mi-rae's mask slipped slightly. You think I want this? You think I want to marry a man who looks at me like I'm a business transaction? Then why? Because I'm tired of waiting. Her voice rose. 3 years, Ji-hoon. 3 years engaged to a ghost. You left. You ran. You broke every promise you ever made. And I stayed here. Loyal. Patient. Waiting for you to grow up. I never asked you to wait. You never had to. That's what family means. That's what loyalty means. Mi-rae's eyes were bright. And now you want to throw your life away for some woman you met yesterday? Are you insane? That woman has a name. I don't care. Mi-rae stepped closer. You're mine. By contract, by family law, by every tradition we have. And I'm not letting you die for someone who means nothing. She means something to me. The words landed like a bomb. Mi-rae's face went pale, then red. What? You heard me? You've known her for a day? And in that day, she's shown me more genuine care than you have in 3 years. That's not fair. None of this is fair. Ji-hoon's voice echoed off the walls. I don't love you, Mi-rae. I never have. I never will. And forcing this marriage won't change that. I know. Mi-rae's voice broke. But at least you'll be alive to hate me. She walked out. The hall was silent. Then Hyun-woo spoke. The marriage happens tomorrow. Dawn ceremony. Both families will attend. It's binding. Hyung! It's done, Ji-hoon. Accept it. Hyun-woo's voice was tired. You're alive. The family is protected. That's what matters. And Amara? She stays here, under protection, until Cheong-min backs off. How long? As long as it takes. Months. Maybe years. She'll never agree to that. She doesn't have a choice. Neither do you. Welcome home, little brother. Hyun-woo walked out. Ji-hoon stood there alone in the empty hall. Then his legs gave out. He caught himself on a chair. Fuck, he whispered. Above him, behind the screen, Amara watched him break and realized she couldn't let this happen. She had to leave. Tonight. Before he married Mi-rae to protect her. Before she became the cage that trapped him forever. She slipped out of the viewing room, found Hae-jin in the hallway. I need to leave, Amara said. You can't. I can, and I will. Amara's voice was steady. Help me or don't. but I'm not staying here while he destroys his life for mine. Hye-jin studied her. You love him. That's not— You do, otherwise you wouldn't care. Hye-jin sighed. Fine, I'll help, but not because I think you should leave, because I think you should have the choice. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Hye-jin's smile was grim. Getting you out of here won't be easy. And if Ji-hoon finds out, he'll kill me. Then we better make sure he doesn't find out. They made a plan. Tonight, midnight, when the compound was quietest, Hye-jin would disable the cameras. Amara would slip out through the service entrance. A car would be waiting. Simple. Except nothing about this was simple. And as Amara prepared to leave, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was making the biggest mistake of her life. But staying felt worse. So at midnight, she grabbed her a couple of clothes, left Ji-hoon's oversized shirt on the bed, and slipped into the hallway. The compound was quiet. Guards at their posts, but not alert. No one expected trouble from inside. She made it to the service entrance, found Hye-jin waiting with a set of keys. Cars outside. Head south. Don't stop until you hit Macon. Hye-jin pressed the keys into her hand. And Amara? Don't look back. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just survive. Amara slipped out the door. The car was exactly where Hye-jin said it would be. Older sedan. Nondescript. Perfect. She was reaching for the door handle when someone grabbed her arm. She spun. Ji-hoon stood there in a t-shirt and sweatpants, pale and swaying, but upright. Where do you think you're going? He asked quietly. Anywhere that's not here. You'll die out there. Maybe, but at least I'll die free. She pulled her arm away. You can't marry her because of me. I won't let you. That's not your choice. Neither is this. Amara opened the car door. Goodbye, Ji-hoon. Wait. She got in the car, started the engine. Ji-hoon's hand hit the window. Amara, please. Let me go. I can't. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're trying to save me by sacrificing yourself. Very noble, very stupid. And I'm not letting it happen. She looked at him through the glass. Find another way. Find someone else. But don't marry Mi-rae because of me. There is no other way? Then we're both screwed. She put the car in drive. Move. Amara, move. He stepped back. She drove. Out the service entrance. Through the gate that Hye-jin had left unlocked. Onto the empty Atlanta streets at midnight. And she didn't look back. Even though every fiber of her being wanted to. Amara made it 3 miles before the tears started. 5 miles before she had to pull over because she couldn't see the road. 7 miles before she admitted to herself she loved him, and leaving him was killing her, but staying would have killed him. So she drove south through the night, toward a future that felt emptier with every mile. And behind her, in a compound in Koreatown, Ji-hoon collapsed to his knees in the courtyard and screamed her name at the sky. The end. Or is it? The story continues. Because this isn't over. Cheong-min is still hunting. The marriage happens at dawn, and Amara just made a choice that will either save them both or destroy everything. Part 3 coming soon? Or is this where Amara's story ends? Comment below, my loves. I might be or not be the one in the passenger seat this time. Waiting.